Take two. Hi! How are ya? It's Dr. Leona. Thanks for joining us. Today I want to talk about breaking some stuff down and helping you work through chaos and confusion to clarity. That's what we're going to talk about today, okay? So we're going to shift your perception on a couple things and help you work through your worst problems, like what makes you crazy, okay? So let's go ahead and go through this and break this down. Okay, now, when people are overwhelmed and they're like, I have this problem, I don't even know what to do, I'm so confused, I don't even know where to start, let's just break it down in some easy steps and give you some things to think about to help you process through that. Okay, first and foremost, what do you spend most of your time and energy thinking about? Let's start with there. Okay, so let's identify your biggest problem you have going on. What do you spend your time and energy thinking about? Because that is currently draining you from creating the life that you want. Yeah, it's draining you. So let's work through this and get rid of this, okay? And figure out how to make peace with it and move on, because you got work to do. You got things to do. All right. So if we're spending time and energy worrying or thinking about something that's a constant struggle in our life, what we don't even realize is that we're constantly feeding it and giving it energy. And as we constantly feed it and give it energy, it keeps us stuck in this loop, okay? Now, I completely understand why we're doing this. We're trying to figure out, how do we get out of this? What do I do? What can I do? How can I help myself? How can I figure this out? But I want you to understand that when you have a problem, there are two aspects of the problem. There is the problem, and then there is the solution. If I spend all of my time and energy thinking about, talking about, telling my story, repeating the story, telling the story, repeating the story, thinking and worrying, and then telling the story, I am feeding that monster. I am feeding that monster called the problem, okay? Now, what I would recommend you do with regards to this is recognize everything is energetic. So if you are focused on the problem, you're probably not going to see the solution that's right in front of you. I mean, it's really kind of that simple. So let's back it up. And let's first and foremost, let's start learning how to train ourselves a little bit differently and figure out where we're giving our time and energy, and does that really serve us, okay? Because if it doesn't serve us, we don't need to be wasting time and energy on that. Now, if we're stuck in a situation that, what I would recommend is looking at your situation. You're going to have to do one of three things. You're either going to have to accept the circumstances as the way they are. Perhaps we're in a season, like we're struggling with, our greatest problem is we have a parent that's unhealthy and we're taking care of that parent. That's a season. This isn't going to be for the rest of your life. This is a season, and this is a problematic thing during that situation. You're going to have to accept it. I mean, you just have to navigate through that situation and try to minimize it draining on you, okay? So we're either going to accept that problem, or we're going to change our perception on that problem. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. Our perception on a particular problem. If we spend, again, all of our time and energy focused on the problem, we're not going to see the solution. What if we just shift that whole thing up? What if we just shift that whole thing up from maybe that perception of, let's just say I had a business and my business was fun. Oh my God, fun, fun, fun. But at some point in time, my business was no longer fun. Let's say I had a daycare and I kept kids, and I used to keep these kids, and it was great. And then it became an obligation and a chore, and now it's stressing me out. And what you're going to need to do is you are allowed to give yourself permission to change your mind. Whoa, what a concept. Women are notorious for agreeing to do something or saying yes and obligating themselves, and then the next thing you know, we're overwhelmed and we're burnt out and we're stressed out and we're strung out, okay? So if you have something in your life that is an obligation or it's an expectation of another person about you, you might want to consider taking a step back from that and just saying, you know what, it no longer brings me joy. It does not serve me. It has now become an obligation. What used to be fun, it's an obligation. And if that's the case, you also have permission, without explaining or justifying anything to anyone, you are allowed to change your mind and say, you know what, I decided to take this job, or I decided to watch these kids, or I decided to open this business. And in doing so, I did that. And I learned that maybe this wasn't as much fun as I thought it was. Maybe it wasn't as joyful as I thought it was. Maybe it was way more than I expected. If that's the case, please be gentle with yourself and stop judging yourself that you're a failure. Please stop worrying about what other people are going to say or think about the choices that you're going to make. So many people get stuck and rigid and locked in something like, oh, I can't do that, I can't say that. No, they'll think I'm a failure, or it looks like I quit. Or if something is emotionally draining you on a regular basis, then you are existing and it is sucking the life out of you. That's not living. So you have to give yourself permission regularly to reassess what's going on in your life, relationships, jobs, different opportunities. You just need to give yourself time to say, does that work for me or does that not work for me? Because once again, everything's about seasons. Sometimes we change the season and it's like, well, not that into it anymore, okay? And what I would say is people who are going to judge you based on the choices that you make that's best for yourself, well, I want to talk about that for a second. Because the people that are going to judge you are usually people who are afraid to do these things on their own, and they're judging you to make themselves feel better. Why is it relevant what people think about you? I'm just curious. Why is it relevant? I mean, are you going to live your whole life about worrying about what other people think or say? Because when you do that, you're pretty much enslaved to everyone around you, okay? My best recommendation to you is you need to be true to yourself. See, once you start aligning with what feels right for you and what works for you, once you start aligning with that, things that you enjoy will come to you faster. People and opportunity will come flowing into you without effort. But you see, if you are handcuffed to something that you don't enjoy, or a situation that's no longer working for you, you are completely blocking the flow of what you really want in your life. And if you're paralyzed in the fear that somebody's going to say something or they're going to judge you, haters are always going to hate. So I would not get stuck on that. You being authentic is you walking your path. Nobody else can walk your path, okay? Nobody else can walk your path. So learn to just say, you know what, this is no longer working. Please have the courage, because the other thing I'll tell you about that is once you have the courage to step up and say, this job isn't working, these people are abusive, or they don't appreciate me. Once you have the courage to step up and make those clear boundaries and recognize that doesn't work for you, the thing you're doing, you don't even realize, is you are also empowering and giving other people around you permission to do the same thing. Yeah, they are. Other people will watch. Oftentimes I say to people, you should consider doing this. For instance, let's talk about homeschool. I had a patient who was struggling with schooling with their kid, and I said, pull your kid out of school, homeschool your kid. What? We can't do that. What do people think? Why do we care what people think? Your priority is your child. We don't care what other people think, okay? What if this is actually a better situation for your child and this is gonna suit their needs better? You don't have to stay in a situation or because an obligation because you're supposed to. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. And I am seeing an epidemic, more and more and more of this. And once you give yourself permission to say, this just is not working for my child, this is not working for my family, once you have the courage to do so, my gosh, the amount of anxiety and stress it will relieve in your life, and the quality of your life will improve significantly, okay? So, we're either going to, again, back to our problems, we're going to accept the problem, this is the way it is, this is the situation, we are in a season. We're going to change our perception on the problem, or make a change in that, and that no longer works for me, okay? Now, if you can't do either one of those, maybe if you are caught in this on-again power struggle, on, off, on, off, on, off, I want you to be a mental ninja. What? A mental ninja, all right? So when you're doing martial arts, one of the things in martial arts is there are different moves that as people come towards you to attack, you simply sidestep and you allow their momentum to make them go forward and fall over, okay? So you use that momentum to let them continue on, or let the situation continue on. But if you are in a power struggle on and on and on, I will tell you, once you disengage from that power struggle and you say, you know what, I'm out. You're not gonna see it my way. I'm not gonna see it your way. We're gonna agree to disagree. And I just choose no longer to spend energy on this. As soon as you make that choice to disengage and unplug, there's no fight. They can fight with themselves, but you stop the chaos. You can stop the chaos, okay? So once again, you just saying, this is no longer working for me, unapologetically, you do not need to explain, nor do you need to justify. disconnect from the power struggle. And what I will tell you is, when you do that, once again, you stop feeding the problem. When you stop feeding the problem, it will starve and die on the vine over time, okay? So trust me, I've had a lot of opportunities to learn this in my life, and I learned a mantra: it's more important to be happy than it is to be right. So I don't need to argue with people or explain or justify anything to anybody. I just go with it's more important to be happy than it is to be right. You see it your way, I see it my way. Peace be with you, okay? So you got those options. Release it, just release it, disconnect from it. All right, again, we talked about attention. What you give your attention to is creating more of what you want, all right? In life, I want you to, how we differentiate, how do I take the chaos and move forward? It was interesting, I had a discussion with somebody the other day, and we were working through different things that I thought I wanted to do or I would enjoy. The universe is brilliant, because the way we figure out if we're on our path and we're aligned with our authentic self is our feelings, okay? And oftentimes we don't pay attention to our feelings. Our feelings are connected to our higher self, also connected to our intuition that speaks through us, that guides us. So if you look at any situation in your life and you ask yourself, well, how does that person make me feel? How does that situation make me feel? If it's a heavier energy, you really need to take a very, very, very strong look at that. And that is draining you once again and preventing what you want to come into your life from coming to you, all right? So our feelings always tell us on point. And as women, how often do we negate our feelings and say, well, what if I hurt their feelings? Or what if they judge me like this? Or what if I leave this job and I can't find another job? We have all these imaginary things that prevent us, but we have to let go of that lower energy stuff because it's not serving us, okay? And once you make the choice, once again, to say, this is not serving me, you will open the doors to what you really want to attract. So what I would tell you is, let's start focusing on what we want to create. We are going to close the chapter on the things that no longer work for us. The good news is we're coming out of retrograde. Woo! Retrograde is about Mercury. Retrograde is a time period where everything's kind of slowed down. And that's an opportunity to reflect on what's going on in our life and to tweak our processes and make sure we're on task with what we're doing and that it aligns with us. All right? So it's kind of slowing us down. August 1st, that's going to move forward and things are going to come quicker to us. Okay? So let's clean house. Let's clean house. What's not working in your life? Get real honest with yourself. The other thing is, you're going to need to have some quiet time alone to listen to yourself when you do this. You know what's not working. Stop lying to yourself. If you know it's not working, why are you expending time and energy on it? Because that's all you get in life. That's the only thing we all get is time. And when you're wasting time on things that no longer serve you or suck the life out of you, then you're existing. And I would invite you to make a change in your life and to get busy living, okay? And the way you do that is let go of the heavier stuff and get real clear on what does work for you and what brings you joy. And I want you to start focusing on what brings you joy. I don't care if you start with the smallest of things. You know what brings me joy? My cup of coffee in the morning. I like driving to work with the sunroof open so I can get sunlight in my face. If you can just start with these small things to get you on task and start dreaming and daydreaming about what you would like to create and attract in your life. You see, once you shift your energy from the stuff that's not working to what you want to attract and create, the universe says, thank you. We've been waiting for you to wake up because we need you to do things and to express more life. But you have been asleep and we appreciate you waking up. Now we got some stuff for you to do. So let's start putting our attention on what we want to create or what we want to attract in our life. And if you start setting an intention every single day before you get out of bed, I lay in bed and I say in the morning, thank you for all the opportunities coming my way. Thank you for the people I'm going to meet. Thank you for the awesome serendipities. Thank you for the coincidences. Thank you for the laughter, for the joy that's coming my way. See, I set my tone and my intention before I get out of bed, and I'm going to expect that my day is going to unfold like that. Sometimes life throws you a little curveball, but here's the thing. It is always a choice how you react. It's always a choice how you react. A lot of us have been programmed to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is going wrong. I can't believe something's happening. You see, as soon as we do this, we go backwards. We go backwards is what's happening. So that's not working for us anymore, okay? That's just not gonna work for us. So let's start setting the intention of what we want to attract and what we want to create in life, okay? And the other thing is, the way that we make things a little easier is stop making things happen. Stop making things happen. How about you just set the intention and allow the universe to bring to you what you're seeking. Allow the universe to bring it to you. If you will simply set your intention, you will watch things will start showing up in your life with ease and grace, okay? So let's start setting an intention. Play a game. Today I would like to attract a friend I haven't heard from in a long time. Today I would like to attract opportunity for a new client. Today I would like to attract an opportunity to go do something fun with my kids. So just set that intention every day is what I would recommend. And we want to make sure that's how I would start my day. Now, as we go about our day, we get out of bed, we get started, we've set our intention. The other thing I want you to get real clear on is we have two things in life. We have priorities, things we have to get done, high level priorities, and then we have options. Priorities, options, priorities, options. The priorities take precedent over the options, okay? So get real clear on what your priority is. Sometimes things don't need to be done that day, and they're hanging on and they're dragging you down. Maybe you're procrastinating. I want to give you a little information about, or just a little tidbit on procrastinating. Don't beat yourself up for it. Don't beat yourself up for it. I mean, if you consistently procrastinate and create problems in your life, that's a problem. But if for some reason you're compelled to do something, but you aren't able to do it and you don't know why, and you're trying to do it and you seemingly keep getting held up, maybe the universe is smarter than you. Maybe the other components or the other people or the other pieces of the puzzle, they're just not ready yet. Okay, still work towards that, set your intention where you want to go, but also recognize what's a priority and what's an option, okay? And don't waste your time on all the options. If it's not something that brings you joy, it's not a high priority, okay? Like cleaning the bathroom, it's an option. It doesn't need to, don't beat yourself up over I didn't clean my bathroom today. It's okay, you'll get to it before the guests get there, all right? A couple other things I want to talk about to help you have a better quality of life is, we talked about waking up what your priorities and your options are. The other thing is I want you to get clear on your boundaries, okay? Get clear on your boundaries, because if people are, say you have somebody and it's a girlfriend and she's doesn't like her husband or doesn't like her boyfriend, and she spends hours and hours, and every day it's the same story, and every day it's the same story, every day it's the same story. You might want to just take a little bit of step back from that, because you're actually enabling her and you're perpetuating this problem with her and feeding her. You're not helping her. The best thing you can do is just simply ask the question, you know, are you ready to change, and what are you going to do about that? So instead of perpetuating this craziness, what are you going to do about that? When you're ready for change, you'll do the change, okay? So when I talk about boundaries, it's teaching people that you're not available to hold their hand through every issue and every crisis in their life, that they're going to have to manage that. And you know what? The best gift you can give them is for you to be a strong, stable, grounded person, and for you to teach them boundaries. And you teach them boundaries by what you tolerate. Because if you tolerate chronic problems and over and over again, then people get used to that, and that's how they'll always behave, okay? So you teach people how to treat you. Somebody might say, this person drives me crazy, they're always late, they're always late, they're always late. You know, once you have a boundary and say, you know, this person's always late, I'm just gonna stop inviting them, because every time I invite them and they're late, it interferes with my day and I don't have fun. Okay, stop inviting them. They might figure out after a time period, maybe you're always late and that's what the problem is, okay? So again, just boundaries, you're teaching people how to treat you, and that's the best gift you can give other people. Again, if it makes you happy, you want to do more of that. You want to work towards the joy and the things that bring you joy in life, okay? And minimize the interaction with things that suck the life out of you and don't bring you joy, okay? Another thing that's really important is self-care. oftentimes, specifically as women, we overextend ourselves, we're obligated, we're burning the wick at both ends, we're trying to take care of a business or a job or our husband or our partner or our children or our aging parents or whatever that is. If you don't take care of yourself and you don't make time for yourself to go do something fun, you're gonna be bitchy. You're gonna be bitchy and you're gonna be a martyr is what you're gonna do. That doesn't serve anybody. So give yourself permission to say, you know what? There's this really cool yoga retreat going down at Starved Rock this weekend. I think I would like to go. This would give me an opportunity to meet other really cool people that are all on the same level as I am, who want to create a better quality of life. Or I think I want to go to a meditation class today. Give yourself permission to do things for yourself, because once you take care of yourself and mommy's happy and mommy's grounded, guess what? Everybody around you wins as well, all right? Nobody wins when you're constantly depleted and stressed out and strung out. Just saying, all right? Guilt doesn't serve anybody. It does not serve anybody. So you saying, oh, well, I can't do this, I feel guilty. All right, snap out of it. What's with the guilt? Nobody wins. You drag that shit around with you. It's not relevant, okay? Guilt is you judging yourself or you worrying about other people's judgment of you. We're not interested. We're just not interested. And guilt doesn't serve anyone. Neither does shame, just so you know. Shame doesn't serve anyone either. Once again, those both are judgments. Everybody's got an opinion. Stop with being paralyzed by guilt and shame. Because you know why? You are compromising your higher self, and you are compromising the flow of life to come to you every time you're like paralyzed with guilt. I can't do this. You're sabotaging yourself with that, just so you know. So you might want to kind of let that shit go, really. All right, you're allowed to change your mind. We talked about that. You are allowed to change your mind at any given point in time and say, this is no longer working for me. And in doing so, you will allow other people to have the opportunity to do the same, okay? Forgiveness. All right, this is a big one. So I want you to learn that in life, and I wish somebody would have told me when I was 15 years old, this is life. In life, you will be lied to, you will be stolen from, you will be abused, you will be betrayed, you'll be backstabbed, you'll be lied to, you might go broke. Yes, I'm sorry to tell you, this is part of life, okay? And when that happens or any of these situations happen, there's a lesson in that. So instead of holding on to this grudge or blaming someone else, and I'm not saying other people don't play a role in this, but if you're locked in that situation and the injustice of that person or that situation, you are blocking the light from coming into your life and creating new. Sometimes the universe is smarter than you and things happen in your life that are not fun, betrayal or lies, and it's revealed to you, and it is devastating. But I promise you, if you will look at the lesson in that situation and you will allow yourself to move forward, there is so much more waiting for you, so much more goodness waiting for you. And sometimes the universe pulls people out of your life or reveals things because that path no longer serves you, okay? That path no longer serves you and you're being protected. And if that happens, don't beat yourself up like, I should have this or I should have that, or why didn't I this or why didn't I that? We've all been there. Stop beating yourself up for that. Everything happens in life and it's our reaction to it that teaches us, okay? Everything is a lesson. Learn the lesson in it. And then once you learn the lesson, you say, you know what? Now I know. I didn't know then. And if I didn't know, then why am I gonna guilt and shame and blame and carry around this burden? Why am I gonna do that? And who does that serve, by the way? It serves nobody. Because the thing is, as a woman, when you're doing that and you're gonna be just stuck in this victim mentality of the injustice of how you were screwed over, you're bitter, you're coming across as bitter, you're preventing from the goodness coming into your life, and you're teaching the other people around you, maybe your children, you're teaching that when somebody is unjust or something happens, that you're supposed to suffer and be pissed off about this forever. Oh my God. Oh, what a horrible, horrible burden to pass on. So what I would say is forgive yourself. You didn't know. When you have the information and now you know and your eyes are wide open, you can make better choices, and hopefully you'll make choices that raise you up, okay? And let go of the things that no longer serve you. So forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook and like, oh, everything's Pollyanna. It's not about that. Forgiveness is about shifting your perception that, you know what, I'm not a victim. I learned, this was part of my process. I am humaning, and that's part of humaning, is growing and evolving through crappy things. Lotus flowers, love them. You know what? The lotus is a beautiful flower, but it goes through the mud. It goes through the bottom of the dirt and comes up and evolves in the light. We all got to get some dirt on us. It's okay. It's okay because it teaches you to be wiser, compassionate, kind, and stronger. Don't get stuck. Don't be a victim, because you know what? When you decide to do that, you have chosen to give your power away to that person or that situation. You're not living, okay? So today is a new day, and it is about choices. Choose to forgive yourself and close that chapter. That was then, this is now. And today, I choose to live my life differently. I choose to set the intention of allowing things to come into my life. I forgive myself for what I didn't know. I forgive myself for the choices that I made and what I had to do to survive, to make it through. I forgive myself for compromising my boundaries, but I've learned from that, and that makes me stronger, okay? So I want you to forgive yourself, and then after that comes grace. I love grace. The word grace, I just think that's so uplifting, because grace is, to me, it represents when somebody's like dragged you behind a truck and you've been beaten up. It's your ability to get up and brush yourself off, put a smile on your face and say, it's all right, I'm still here. We're good. I'm all good. It's allowing, it's not getting in that conflict and that lower energy victim mentality. Grace is more about allowing spirit to flow through you, allowing you to see the opportunities or the people coming your way that are there and they've been sent on your path to help you along the way, okay? So that's what I would say is, let's get real clear on what's not working, and let's take steps to move through that. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to tell that story anymore, because that is in your past. Today, we are creating a new future. So welcome to your new chapter in life. Have a good one. Bye-bye.